Hi, Biffs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Loser
you.
power.
Love you like I
Or
love
more
you.
wine.
Just gonna say that.
Don't
talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff. Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is ill-advised.
Hey, Biffs.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to Ill-advised.
The podcast where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already has.
Like your baby mama.
And not your lifeguard.
Lifeguards do tell us what to do.
Yeah, but who listens?
Hey, no swimming with life jackets.
Don't go past the buoys. There's a monster.
I believe that.
Do you?
I absolutely believe in the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, but the chances of them making it to Massachusetts.
I feel like every body of water that is deep enough has some sort of monster in it.
See, I don't think lakes are deep enough.
Well,
I've also never taken a ruler to the bottom of a lake, so...
There's going to be some sort of monster. My Uncle Bob's old lake, absolute monster in it.
Oh, there's got to be a monster in it. Good thing we stood by the docks.
I used to,
Or floated by the docks.
when we would do the tubing on my uncle's boat, and I'd get knocked over, and I was like in the middle of the lake, I would fucking panic.
No.
My feet were going 75 miles a minute waiting for the boat to come pick me up because I was like, nothing is coming to grab my feet.
See, that's my paranoia is the feet, so I would totally just backstroke all the way back to the fucking boat. Welcome to our podcast. If you haven't been here before, I'm Cornelius, this is Amelia, and this is a medical podcast.
Yes, a health one.
Yes! A health medical podcast.
Aren't we under health?
Oh, right.
We're under health for one of the...
That's right. I think it was Spotify put us down as health, which is hilarious, but I actually forgot about that, which is why I'm fucking losing my shit.
Medical health.
That makes...
Medical is also health.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I was laughing at is like, I said medical, you said health. I was like, thanks for elaborating.
Oh, right,
but when you explained why you said health...
Yes.
Yeah. Or, Ray, this is Stephanie, and this is your advice podcast.
Yes.
That one's more appropriate.
We do not worry about your health.
We self-diagnose on Google.
We also take picklebacks at like noontime.
Right. It's the only way
On the weekday.
It's the only viable way that I can chase my depression medicine. So, how you doing, Biff?
Yeah. I think I'm just kind of like somewhere floating in the middle.
Like emotional purgatory?
Actually, that might be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd appreciate a break.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's very nice to like fuck it.
Yeah.
Last night's dinner plates are in the sink. Fuck it.
Yeah. Like if you're not at extremes and you're just like,
Fuck it.
I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm here.
Right.
That's good. I think you're doing great.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm accepting of it yet.
Oh.
But I'm still here, so.
All right. That works.
Yeah, how about you?
Things are looking up.
Oh, yay.
Work is back on track. I'm back to work and I'm on track. I don't know. I'm on track to work. That's it.
There you go.
There you go. And I just scheduled a vacation.
Ooh, where to?
Colin is taking me to the Mayan Riviera. Or Riviera Maya, depends on where you grew up and how you talk.
Okay.
And which language. And that's it. That is it.
Well, friggin' A.
That's, worthwhile to celebrate with a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
So shall we?
We shall. I was just going to say, let's cheers to this.
Okay, we will. This week's wine, I bought this bottle because it's Tiffany's Blue.
Ooh.
Well, the label is. The bottle's green.
He went to Tiffany's.
I went to Bacon's Liquors in Hudson, Massachusetts.
Bacon's.
That's right. And there are actually no tasting notes on this.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. It's called Azul y Garanza. It's a Tempranillo from Spain.
What does Garanza mean?
It means something I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
Yeah. Azul is
blue.
Yep. Garanza is
not blue.
Give it a definition.
Oh, I thought it was garbanzo beans.
There's birds on it, so let's say they're doves.
Garanza.
I need to know.
Please do. For some reason, I wanted to tell you to ask Gretis.
There's no direct translation. In Italian, it means guarantee, but it's not an Italian wine. Oh, there is a question here on Google. Azul y Garanza meaning in English.
Oh.
And that's all.
And there was no answer.
No answer. So Azul y Garanza, this is a 2020, and I think this is the first red wine we've done in a while.
A while, yeah.
You know, because New England weather is weird.
No shit.
So we're just giving in to fall, even though it'll never make an appearance at this point.
Yes.
But the interesting thing about this is that it is 100% Navarro red wine Tempranillo, whatever that means. And it's fermented in concrete tanks, which I didn't know was a thing.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's something to do with Garanza.
Maybe. But I'd rather not speculate any further.
Yep, we shall.
We shall drink it.
We shall drink it.
Oh. Cheers to you, Beth.
Oh, and to you.
Ooh, that face. Holy bitter.
Oh, my jaw's making my mouth water. It's weird because it smells good.
It does smell really good.
The smell I was not expecting this
It
flavor.
smells really juicy.
It smells like it's going to be great with some salami.
It ain't juicy.
It is.
Number 2.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm nervous too.
Can't even swallow it. I'm literally about to drool on myself.
Well, at least you're still juicing.
Wow. I can't, like, my mouth takes a minute to let me swallow. The second it hits my tongue, it's like, no, we're staying right here.
I have nothing. I even want to go down the route of something sarcastic, maybe even potentially insulting, but I've got nothing.
I'm shocked that you're also having a similar reaction as me.
Well, my reaction's
Usually
going down.
I'm like, I'm the one over here dying, and you're like, oh, I like it.
Yeah. Well, I actually, when we took the second sip, it tasted more like a Tempranillo for me.
A what?
That type of wine.
Like a sour wine?
Like a very, very dry, acidic wine. Because I typically like Spanish wines. Like, not love. It's not French. French wines, I was meant to be bougie in one way or another.
Cheers to that.
Here we go. Number 3.
Okay, not as rough to swallow the third time. Maybe by the 5th sip, my eye and jaw will stop.
You'll convince your eye and your jaw that it's good.
It's not bad. It's just sour.
It's acidic to me, not sour to me.
Maybe I don't know the difference.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know if I can drink it, so I don't. But it's also not terrible. It smells great. It's not like it's, we've had some rough.
Oh my God.
So it's like, I guess if I knew the difference between like sour or dry.
Yeah, no, dry. You like dry. You don't like sour.
Right.
It's the acidity versus the sour. Like, to me, sour is, it coats the front of your tongue. And this, to me, like when it goes down, you can feel like
it coats all of my tongue.
Acidity to me, I taste more in the back of my throat. Full honesty.
I gotta do a 3.
It is not my favorite. You're giving it a 3?
Well, because I feel like it'd be very good if I didn't. Sour stuff kills me.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the hint of like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you think things are sour when they're sweet to anybody else.
Right.
You're very sensitive to it.
Yeah. So, but I feel like if it didn't have that, like, I don't want to say pungent, but like.
That punch.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be good.
Mm-hmm. So
I feel like people who aren't fazed by sour things or whatever.
Yeah, if you like sensitive to sour, I can see that because I'm sensing it as acidity, which, yeah, I can see how the both of them are kind of intertwined. I like a Tempranillo. I like the flavor behind a Tempranillo. I am not really getting flavor in this wine. I'm just getting like alcohol.
Sour grape.
Yeah, see, I don't even get that. I'm just
this
getting
was
like
made with. Remember when we ate Gretis's grapes too soon?
Yeah, an unripe fruit.
Yeah,
that's how I taste white wines, and I like those.
For me, this is an unripe red wine. Yes.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Not ripe.
I don't know. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay.
If it's there, like right now, I'll drink it. but it is not.
We will not be repurchasing.
I'm so sorry. Altogether, this is
2.5.
2.5. Sorry, guys. But if you like a very dry wine and you can pick out flavors that we can't, have at it. You have questions this week, Biff?
I have questions. All right. So, Reddit. Am I the asshole?
Aunty AITA.
This was 1 day ago.
Oh, yay.
So, I'm not sure if there was a ruling yet.
That's all right.
But we will.
We will rule.
Okay. Am I the asshole because I don't want my boyfriend to leave me with his 3 kids while he leaves for 10 days?
I don't know. I feel like there's more information here that we need to be made aware of.
My boyfriend, 50, and myself, 39, live together. Have been together for 1.5 years. I have 1 4-year-old daughter. He has 3 kids that are here every other week, ages 7, 10, and 14. The 7-year-old and the 10-year-old have behavioral issues and ADHD. They are quite a handful for me, who's adjusting to life with 4 kids when they're over, and I have had trouble bonding with them. I've caught the 10-year-old stealing from me a few times, and the 8-year-old is super hyperactive and needs consistent attention, and he's super loud. Boyfriend just told me he's leaving on a 10-day work trip, and 5 of these days his kids will be here. He's leaving this coming week. He hadn't asked if this was okay with me. He just told me that this is what's happening. When I asked him why I'm the last person to know when I should be the first, because I'll be watching his kids, he tells me referring to them as his and not ours is toxic. He volunteered to be one of the guys that goes for this work trip. He's a general laborer. I'm dreading these 5 days watching all 4 kids. It's an absolute madhouse, and I'm still trying to adjust to this new life with 4 kids as we haven't lived together long. Am I the asshole for wanting his kids to stay at their mother's for those 5 days? Or for him to come home on the week they come?
Fuck. I wish you hadn't read the whole thing because I had an answer.
What was your initial?
My initial was like, you're an asshole.
Oh.
You signed up for this. There is no way you didn't know he had kids when you know what I mean?
What part of my reading changed your answer?
The whole situation. The behavioral issues, first of all. How long have they been together? Did it say?
A year.
That's it?
Yes.
I feel like that's long enough and not long enough.
Oh, 1.5 years.
Oh.
They live together, have been together for 1.5 years.
I mean, he's kind of an asshole for just assuming, right?
Especially when she's had trouble bonding with them.
Right.
Like, this presumably isn't something that's like...
Yes and no, but his saying that, referring to them as his kids being toxic, feels like it's distracting away from the issue that she really has. Like, it's a way to minimize her obviously not being there during the conversation, right?
Yeah, so it's like gaslighting.
Right. Well, yeah.
Her issue is like, you just fucking decide to tell me this, like, instead of communicating this prior to. And he goes, you saying my kids instead of ours is toxic.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really manipulative. All that aside, these kids are young, first of all. Do we know if it's okay with baby mama that this is a thing?
That's a good point.
Because I think that's
his girlfriend didn't even know about this. Right. So it's a good...
This is valid,
assumption
though, right?
That baby mama probably isn't aware either.
Right. And they come to spend 5 days with you.
With dad, right.
He's not going to be there. Granted, like, I get it. Like, you marry into a family, even though you're not married, right? Like...
Right.
Like, you wouldn't go into a relationship not having them accept your daughter.
Right.
Right?
Especially because, like, 1.5 years later, you're not going to be like, oh, like, by the way, I still don't want anything to do with your kid.
Yeah.
Like,
there's behavioral issues. If she couldn't handle it where there were 2 of you, she's not going to handle it when there's 1 of her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, I agree, because if my daughter's going off with her dad for a week or a weekend or whatever the agreement is, and he's going to be gone that weekend, I'm keeping my child. there's no sense for my daughter to go for a week with you if you're not with them. I'm not going to send my daughter off for a week with her grandma. That's
Right.
not something that's like previously discussed.
It's not
Like,
the
hey, my mom wants
substitution.
time with her. I was thinking about letting Mia sleep over one night.
Right.
Like, yeah, sure. But like your entire visitation, you're going to be gone and your girlfriend is going to be watching my kid. Like,
Do I know her? Do I trust her? Do I blah, blah, blah? You can't make this call without me. Also, she's uncomfortable. I think that speaks for itself.
also, there's no point in my child going to spend a week with your girlfriend for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
She can just be home with me.
Yeah, it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That should be enough. Like, I'm not comfortable with this because XYZ. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that on you. You know, even just like owning up to like a faux pas, like I figured that XYZ, blah, blah, blah. But I understand what you're saying. I'm
Also,
sorry.
you're aware after a year and a half, you're aware if your significant other is like you could leave Wyatt at Colin's house at night and not even think about it.
I actually did that within the first year we were together. I was going to work and they spent a week during the summer together the first year we were together.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you just
He
know.
took him to Shake Shack and I'm pissed about it. But that's only because I wasn't there with them.
Right.
Because I still have never been to Shake Shack. But that's another story.
You just know whether it's like, it's fine. We're in this type of relationship where you just don't even hesitate. Colin doesn't even hesitate.
Right.
But you'd also be aware if like, I don't know how, I don't know if Colin's going to be too nervous. So let me not do that right now. Right. So the boyfriend should be aware of like, she still kind of struggles with the kids and like, it's still kind of a lot for her sometimes.
Yeah. What's really interesting about this dynamic, at least on my end, was like Colin was more nervous about me being nervous, about me trusting him with Wyatt.
Like, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was more worried about like I was going to think of them together.
Right. Colin's like, we're good. I'm good. Are you?
Are you good? And I'm
Right.
like, sure.
Okay. So I think we agree that she's not the asshole.
She's not an asshole.
Is he an asshole for
Yes.
expecting
Just yes.
and also anticipating that
Yes.
she's just going to watch his kids?
Yes.
Even though they live together, he gets his kids, whatever the situation was, he gets time with them. She's aware of this a year and a half later. It's kind of like, that I have my kids.
Mm-hmm. It's a double-edged sword for me in terms of like his expectation of, expecting that she would, because there's a part of me that says, yes, like if you know that someone has kids, you are not just adopting your partner as an extension of you, you're adopting their kids, right?
Right.
There's that part of me. The other part of me also is like, hey, you knew that there were issues in that regard, that they're just not connecting. How could I ever expect my spouse or my partner to kind of just mold to what I need or to what I want for her and my kids?
Like, this is my week.
Exactly.
You should just know that my kids are going to be here, whether I'm here or not.
Versus, I'm not going to be here and I know you don't get along with my kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like that's where I'm torn.
Right.
Is he the asshole for saying,
Oh, God.
saying that they're my kids and not
Ours.
That's manipulative and totally, it's just a way to like invalidate her feelings.
Absolutely gaslighting.
Yeah. So like, I'm torn in that respect, but no, I don't think she's an asshole.
I don't think
I don't think so.
Should we see what some of the readers think?
What is the consensus?
So I don't know if it
hasn't been rated yet because it's pretty new, right?
Yes, this one was a day ago. So some of the commenters.
Commentiers.
Not the asshole. You aren't their parent. They should stay with their mom those days if he's out of town. This is something that should have been discussed.
Agreed.
Men like this marry women quickly to continue avoiding the job of raising their own kids. It's so gross. Poor OP.
Oh my God.
She has no legal standing with those kids since she is a girlfriend. If something happens, she would have to seek a legal guardian for medical permissions. The mom probably has right of first refusal, etc. There's a bunch of legal things the dad hasn't thought through that could backfire.
That's actually something I can't believe I didn't think of. But that's super valid.
Yeah, I'm surprised you also didn't think of that.
Because all I do is think about,
right.
am I going to
Things
get
that
in
I'm
trouble?
like, Biff, that has nothing to do with anything. Stop.
Not really.
You're not the asshole. And then quoted, he tells me referring to them as his and not ours is toxic. A year and a half in, you aren't married, and his kids are now your kids. I doubt their mom agrees with that. He's just throwing around a buzzword to shut down your valid argument.
You know, hearing that, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Hearing that just makes me feel like he's like, oh, when I come back, I don't have them for those 5 days.
What do you mean?
Like, let's say he's gone for the weekend.
Yeah.
That he's with them, and he comes back, he goes 2 weekends without them, and he's still fulfilling his responsibility because he's on schedule. You know what I mean? It just feels like maybe he's an asshole. He's an asshole.
He's a narcissistic.
He's an asshole. He's a big old prick, and not the kind we like.
Yeah. Oh, I like this one. Not the asshole. This man is using you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
for
thinking.
This trip. He's going to enjoy time away with the guys and without the responsibility of looking after his own children. Don't let him do this. It sounds like he wants a live-in babysitter, not a partner.
Yeah.
Not the asshole. His custody time is for him to spend time with his kids.
Yep.
So the consensus is
not the asshole. I
Thankfully.
agree. Yeah. Some people are about to get schooled.
I will go in. Next.
Yes.
Am I the asshole for defending myself after my friend accused me of saying, quote, insensitive things during her mom's funeral? Don't laugh, Bev.
No, I'm not going to laugh. I am, but I'm
were.
not laughing at the question. I'm so insensitive. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at, like, should I give my initial response now or should I wait?
Give your initial.
I just think you're not an asshole for making the remark, but quote insensitive makes you an asshole because you can't decide what offends somebody and what doesn't.
Fair.
Yeah.
Also, how are you going to say you're not the asshole for making the remark if you don't know what the remark is? What if it was insensitive?
My assumption here is that you didn't believe it was insensitive.
Gotcha. I have a friend who is much younger than me. We were co-workers who just hit it off. Now she's like my little sister. At 20, she lost her mom. Her mom's side of the family was prone to terminal disease, and most of them died relatively young, early 50s or so. Because of that, she doesn't have a huge family. This is opposite of mine, where planning an event is an invitation nightmare, and I'm $25,000 in debt when Xmas comes around because I have so many people to buy for. I'm stretching, but you get it. I know, I literally just said Xmas.
You said Xmas. Thank you.
Christmas. My family also lives through everything, so funerals are not common or my strong suit. I go in, tell her and her family I'm so sorry for their loss, and talk with her for a bit. She seems okay. We discussed my upcoming wedding, and because she seems okay, I joke, you think a funeral is expensive. Try paying for a wedding. She chuckled a little. After a while, I mentioned all the empty chairs and said if this was my family, all these chairs would be filled up. I don't remember what she said, but I thought we left on good terms. Well, I guess she had told some people what I said because she sent me a screenshot of her and her boyfriend's message claiming what I said as the most insensitive thing I could have said at her mom's funeral. I've taken it as her grieving and just emotional, so I told her after some time she'll realize it wasn't that big of a deal and I was just uncomfortable because I'm not used to death. I really think it's just her acting out and wanting to hurt someone because she's hurt, but just to make sure, am I the asshole? Biff.
You just told her mom wasn't popular or important or...
Your family sucks. That's what I got. Your family sucks. Because if this was my family...
Right. This
place would be packed.
This would be a fucking stadium.
But none of your friends or family are showed up. I have to say that I was kind of with the poster. And then as I kept reading, I was like, you're literally just digging your hole deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah. Initially, I was too. I was like, no, you're not an asshole. The first comment...
The wedding comment.
The wedding comment was pushing the envelope. you know, if you think a funeral is expensive, like that's pushing the envelope.
Right.
That's really testy. Like I can see maybe
nobody
not,
gives a
you're
fuck
an
about your
asshole.
wedding right now. We're at a fucking funeral.
And I also get to kind of like trying to cut the ice with a little bit of humor. You know
I'm
what
uncomfortable. I don't know how to handle this situation. Like, blah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then like, you didn't read the room,
then you
my
just
friend.
didn't shut up.
Yeah, you didn't read the room. You should have left it there.
But even after the second comment, which was the family, all these shares would be filled up one, then you like continued on to try to like dismiss that they were upset. Like, you know, I waited some time, but I just want to tell her that it's not a big deal. Like, I was uncomfortable. Like, get over it. Like,
you do not get to make that decision for her.
But then I've taken it as her grieving and just emotional.
Oh, so you're even more insensitive now.
And I was just uncomfortable.
And you're blaming her.
Because I'm not used to death. So like, just get over it. I'm not used to funerals.
How about, I'm uncomfortable. I'm not used to death. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
Like,
I was just trying to bring some levity. And that's it. Like, that was shitty. Yeah.
Right.
Are you the asshole? Even though the intent wasn't there, I think you are.
I say yes, only because of how you handled it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's brilliant.
You're not an asshole for being socially awkward or being uncomfortable at a funeral or whatever. You are an asshole for not acknowledging that, whether intentionally or unintentionally,
right,
somebody was very offended or hurt by your awkward comments.
I understand that there are people who are just so like disconnected, but I feel like this person was articulate enough in the way that they discussed things.
Also, they didn't make a big scene out of it at the time. They just kind of like
didn't
awkwardly chuckled, like,
of course they didn't. And like, it's not about you.
Right. Versus being like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Like, actually, I don't know that I could keep my mouth shut.
That person, exactly what I was going to go and say. Like, that person, like, did you a favor.
Especially if that's my mom's funeral. I'm physically assaulting you. And I'm going to get away with it because I'm at my mother's funeral.
Because I'm grieving and I'm upset.
And because my family is here.
Let's just chalk it up to that.
Like,
he's an asshole. Please tell me the consensus is agreeing with us.
We'll find out. Good God, you're the asshole. Next time, keep your insensitive foot in your mouth. Oh. You're the asshole. In fact, you're the asshole isn't strong enough to express how truly horrible those comments were. Are you fucking kidding me?
Did you write this?
On top of everything, you dare to tell her feelings? What an ass.
Yep.
You're the asshole. Apologize. Yes, apologize. Be prepared if she doesn't accept your apology at this time, and be ready to accept this with dignity, grace, and kindness towards her.
Amen.
You did her wrong. You owe her an apology.
Yep.
She does not owe you forgiveness. She may decide that you crossed a line so that she cannot continue her friendship with you. And if that is the case, you need to accept that as a consequence of your behavior and remain polite while respecting her boundaries. You're the asshole. You essentially told her to stop complaining. You have it worse paying for a celebration than she has to pay for a funeral. And then immediately told her mom wasn't loved enough to fill up the room.
Yep.
Then told her she was overreacting.
Yep.
You're not a friend or a sensitive person.
So automatically, just based off of these two responses,
you're the asshole.
I think that my boyfriend and your baby daddy need to write all of their questions to this forum.
It would work for one of them.
I know, because at least Colin, if he goes, it's like, you're not the asshole, and he'll give it to me and I'll be like, what the fuck? I guess I'm an asshole. I won't admit it right away. I'll wait at least 72 hours, but you know, I'll get there. So how about the next one?
Next one. 6 hours ago. Am I the asshole for suggesting my friend's son is autistic?
I don't have an initial response to this.
I'm a speech pathologist and recently visited with a friend and her young kids, one of whom is a son who is now 2.5 years old. The characteristics of autism I'm noticing in her son is speech delayed, sensory differences, struggles with transitions, doesn't engage with other children, is an extremely picky eater who continues to drop foods, etc. I asked her if she's ever had him evaluated for ASD, and she basically lost it on me. She said the only sign he has is that his speech is delayed, and Americans are so quick to give a child a diagnosis instead of just giving them a chance to grow up. She said they had him evaluated, and he's not autistic. I held myself back from asking about who or how the evaluation is done because I'm close to 100% sure this child is autistic. I pointed out that it's not just a speech delay and listed the characteristics I mentioned above. She just went on and on about how sick she is of people suggesting that about her son and how she's just going to pack up and move back to India if we don't stop it over here. I dared not to defend, but so badly wanted to, early intervention services. In the moment, I apologized for touching a nerve, but given what I do for work, I would be remiss not to say what I'm seeing to her. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to learn to better separate my professional self from my personal one. I texted her the next day to thank her for having us over, and she didn't respond. I'm left wondering if I just lost a friendship over this. What do you think? Should I have kept my thoughts private? She's a dentist, and she noticed something about my daughter's teeth that needed dressing. I would so appreciate hearing that from her. Am I an asshole for suggesting her son may be autistic? Same.
Oh, so you can see my face.
Same.
You stopped looking at the phone. Here I am. This is tricky. How do you ignore, what you think is calling attention to what may be in the best interest of the child?
Mm-hmm.
And or how, because I can see that being a good friend and a bad friend, right?
Yeah.
But also, how do you also undermine a parent who may or may not have seen this? This actually hits a little bit close to home, in relation to my nephew. But that's a horse of another color, too. Here's how I feel about it, I think. If a parent, I'm going to assume that this friend knew what you do for work. You are a close friend, is that what it was? Or a best friend, or that?
Just a friend
Mm-hmm.
and her young kids.
I think if I were in this person's position, I would be actually waiting for an entrance and not just
to give your opinion
in a way,
do you think I should go see someone else type of thing,
that kind of thing, instead of
hey,
he dropped she shows all these characteristics, and without the parent saying anything, oh, hey, do you think maybe that your child is autistic? I think that's tone deaf.
See, I half agree. I don't agree to be
I don't fully agree with that either.
Hey, your child does this, and this. Do you think it's autism? But I do think that I would ask the question, do you think there's something going on?
Yeah, I think taking the temperature is actually even better than just suggesting
something's going on.
Right.
You need to see a second.
But again, I wouldn't just come out of left field with it either, especially if they're just a friend. It would be different if I came to you and been like, hey, Biff, do you think maybe there's something deeper than just not liking food? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then if I were somebody that I was just friends with and I'd go to their house for dinner and go hey, he doesn't like that steak. Maybe he's autistic.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that's why I think it's a little tone deaf. You're kind of just not reading the situation. But I don't know more than just friend.
Devil's advocate.
Advocate.
Say it was a good enough friend where you would voice your opinion in the moment. And so to me, you said whatever your example just was. And I said, oh no, she's fine. It's perfectly fine. And you disagree. Do you
drop it?
Really?
Drop it.
Even if it's your pretty much niece.
Drop it. Well, you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Giving me that example.
Playing devil's advocate.
Fucking.
If I'm over here
I'm telling your mother you're advocating for the devil.
I think she knows. That's why she only comes around Christmas time. That was so mean. I love my mom.
I think I would draw the line there in your example between family and friend, because my family's gonna have to like me eventually.
Yeah, but I mean, like me. We're essentially family, but
yeah,
we're not. You're not going to tell me how to parent family.
Never. And I think that's my separation. So I'm with you there. Yeah.
But also, if you're like, Biff, like, I wholeheartedly feel like you're wrong and you're off and you're not seeing something, or you don't want to see something, do you somehow bring it up again, or not push the issue, but like,
I wouldn't push it, but I would find an entrance.
You would
like
try
I said
to
earlier. Like if you and I were like hanging out and something occurred that you were at wit's end and you were showing it emotionally,
right?
I would say,
right, you bring it up,
honey,
and then
did you
I say,
ever
no,
think,
we went to the doctors. Doctor said no.
Oh, well.
And that's it.
Is there something else behavioral that you might want to explore in that respect? Is there some other... So
you would...
There, I think, I don't think I would sell on the autism part of it if you were already rejected that, because it's not my job, to diagnose, but it's also not my job to convince you. You know what I mean? I think that's like people who take that route, it's almost like another form of gaslighting, like trying to remake their reality. You know what I mean? Even though that's not necessarily the case. But I think on my part...
Well, it's hard if you're like familiar enough in the area where it's like, Yeah.
The other side of it is like, if you're friends, it's a general and reasonable assumption that they know what you do for work, that they would come to you with a question too.
They would ask your
opinion
specifically.
Yeah. So that's why I feel like this is another one of those like controversial...
What if it's like, it seems very clear to you that this parent is in denial and just like, nope, we went to the doctors, they said no, so it's no. There's my child's fine, everybody else is crazy. Then what?
It's about finding that entry point or letting it lie. At the end of the day, I can't make a parent seek services that they're not...
Oh, of course, but like, do you just not bring it up when it's something that's so clear to you?
Well, that's why I say I wait for an entry point, like, like a breaking point. Like if you and my sweet niece were having an issue and you were just like breaking down and you were like,
I'm fucking done
I don't
with
know what it is. I'm
Yeah.
done with this. I'd be like, honey, do you think that maybe, there might be something deeper, something more underlying than just like, fuck my original, like, hey, these are characteristics of autism. Like, did you ever think, no, we've done the testing and they said, no, she's just delayed in her speech. Okay. And then you have one of those days where it's just too much for you and you break down and you confide in me, like how overwhelmed you're feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever think maybe like, you got the testing for autism, sure, but, do you think that there's something else underlying? Maybe, some sort of therapy or some sort of intervention, maybe just talk to her doctor about these behavioral issues, etc., whatever it might be. I would wait for that. But to push and push and push, you've got to meet people where they're at. But also, I recognize that not all people know that.
Right.
Like,
not
for example, like,
but also
we're just learning that too. Not just, but like, it's compared to the rest of our lives, it's fairly nuanced, right?
Yes.
We're meeting people where they're at right now. So it's hard.
It's so hard, especially if it's like, okay, I'm not pulling things out of my ass, and or it might be very clear that you're not ready to approach the situation. Your child may or may not have something more than just typical toddler behaviors. It's so hard when especially when it's a kid and you just want to be like, look,
wake the fuck up.
You're not a failure just because your child has autism or just because your child has ADHD.
That's another one too.
Or just because or your child is not a failure just because they may have these types of things going on in their life.
Like they're not doomed.
Get on top of this now.
Yeah.
You and your child deserve this.
Yeah.
Also, I was kind of with Mom when she said, you Americans are so quick to just shove a diagnosis out there.
Yes.
And not look at like the basic factors in children's lives, their upbringing, what's going on at home, what's going on at school,
Yep. And that brings me to her defense too, kind of going like you're just literally just like pouncing on your opinion.
Or is this a case of mom's in denial? And like, every doctor just wants to have an issue and here, take these meds and not.
I'm trying to put
versus
this,
like every doctor.
I'm trying to frame this with the perspective, like, what if I was a doctor who was able to diagnose this type of condition and saw all the signs, right? Mm-hmm. And if this person said, no, we did all the tests. And I'm like, no,
right,
I'm the best doctor in this fucking country,
right,
to diagnose this, what I would do in that position. And I guess it depends on your level of confidence and or arrogance, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do that. I think your question is well-meaning. Your like initial concern and your initial approach, fine. You asked your question, you got a response, leave it there and either wait for an entry point. But like, they're not responding. Yeah, they're okay to be offended. They are.
Especially if it's something that we just went and got tested for this.
Yep.
So like, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. Like, I asked you a question and you told me to shut the fuck up.
Right.
And I'm like,
but also
honestly,
that's why
I'm
I said, is mom in denial? Or is mom like, oh my God, mm-hmm. like not every behavior or every this mm-hmm. or every that is a fucking diagnosis that needs meds or that mm-hmm. needs this or that needs that.
Yeah. I wouldn't read too much into the situation either. Like, we texted her to say thank you for everything and she hasn't texted us back. You know, I'd be like, hey, how are you? Was hoping we can get together soon.
Let me double check because I think mom also said like she made it kind of clear that she was upset when they were talking.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I asked her if she's ever had him evaluated for ASD and she basically lost it on me. So friend knew that she was
upset.
Yeah. So when friend texted and said like, thanks for having us, and mom didn't answer, like she knew.
Yeah. I would kind of reach out again rather than jump to a conclusion still. It's kind of like, oh, but they also were thanking them. You would think they would say like, you're welcome.
Not if I'm pissed at you.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you know, you would think that if they weren't mad at them, they would.
Right. You'd be like, of course, like, see you again soon.
So I'm actually having an internal battle right now out loud, if you would allow.
Well, next time, clarify.
I can't. I don't always know when I'm going to be mad at
That's
me.
wicked funny because Mia just yelled at me the other day for responding to her when she was having a conversation with herself.
Are you sure she's not my kid?
No, I never have been. The fuck? I invited you to the birth.
Oh my God.
You didn't show.
What? I was not invited to the birth.
No, you weren't.
I didn't even know you were giving birth.
Oh, that's right. You got mad at me for ignoring it like 3 days.
It's like, what the fuck? Where is she?
Hello, are you okay or not?
Your sister texted me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
meanwhile, I'm in labor for days.
Water under the bridge. No.
I'm left wondering if I just lost a friendship over this. What do you think? Should I have kept my thoughts private? She's a dentist, and if she noticed something about my daughter's teeth that needed addressing, I would appreciate hearing that from her.
That last part's irrelevant to me.
It is. Because nobody...
I understand where you're coming from with it, but I think it's irrelevant.
But she doesn't feel how you feel.
I think follow it up with a text apologizing. I don't think... on the reasonable assumption that she knew what you did for work, I would think that she knew that you were well-meaning. In fact, I'm willing to bet that by now they've probably already texted and replied. She would think that you're well-meaning. I don't think you're an asshole. I think that's my answer. I
agree because it says I held myself back from asking about the evaluation. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like
the intent
the friend said, have you ever had further evaluations done or an evaluation for autism spectrum? Mm-hmm. And then as soon as mom said, yes, we have, this is fucking bullshit, whatever, then you kind of left it alone after that.
I would think that, and I would hope that this writer was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend. I'm just noticing some signs and it's part of my profession. I didn't mean to offend. I'm so sorry. I was just asking a question and I understand why you're upset with me.
Yeah, I think not the asshole, but I do agree that you should offer an apology if you haven't.
But maybe gauge the situation too. Maybe she just didn't respond or didn't see your message or didn't hit send, because I do that shit all the time. Well,
I think that was intentional.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I think too,
just because she said she lost it on me.
Yeah, that's true too. I would still take a temperature check. Hey, is everything good? Or hey, how are you? Just to see.
I would do a simple, I'm so sorry if you felt that I overstepped. I in no way, shape, or form was trying to hurt or offend you. And I'm here if you ever need anything.
Yep. I genuinely felt
and then I would leave that alone.
Yeah, you're right. Perfect. Yep.
And then I would leave that alone. If they respond, they respond. If they don't, that's it.
That's your answer.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, please.
Not the asshole. Being an asshole all comes down to the intention. Your intention was to help. She got upset. You apologized and have learned she is sensitive about this. When it turns out her son has autism, you probably won't hear from her again. That I didn't like.
I hate that response, but there's
when it
also
turns out her son has autism.
Right. I hate that response, but the beginning of that too, I disagree with, because
being an asshole all comes down to intent.
I agree with intent being a factor of this, but I also think internalizing and coming up with how to present it. You can
unintentionally be an asshole.
You can unintentionally be an asshole. What I'm getting at is like the way that you communicate a message to also conveys, you know what I mean? Like your intent and what your well-meaning.
Your intention was to help. She got upset.
I've said things a million times that I didn't mean, but that wasn't where I was going with it. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe I didn't think of that like most prevalent response. Like, you know what I mean?
Not the asshole. There's a difference between, quote, LOL, is your son autistic, or what? Unquote, and quote, I see some stuff I noticed from work. Have you had this checked by a professional? Unquote. You did the second thing. So far, so good. You could have let it rest after she said she did. It obviously is a sore spot, but you apologized. I think you're good. She's probably overreacting because either she fears you're right or she's confronted with this assumption far too often.
I'm sorry, this person said not the asshole? Or
correct. Not the asshole.
Okay.
Not a reason to blow up in your face. I feel like you lost a friend over an issue you didn't know she was having. Maybe consider if you want to be friends with someone like that.
I don't like that response.
Right. Nah. You didn't do anything wrong. Maybe they meant not the asshole and Google and Siri corrected
Oh, did they do NTA?
NAH. Not NTA. NAH.
They wrote nah.
Nah. You didn't do anything wrong. Early intervention programs are so important, but unfortunately, a lot of parents don't want the label, even if the child will face the challenges with or without the formal diagnosis.
It's true.
Not the asshole.
That is true.
Yes, asshole.
Ooh.
You should take a look and reacquaint yourself with ASHA's ethics guidelines.
ASHA?
ASHA's? I thought that was, what's the privacy one?
You're thinking of HIPAA.
HIPAA.
Yep.
What's ASHA?
I don't know. I'm going to say Autism Spectrum Health Association.
Sure.
Does that work?
You should never give unsolicited feedback about someone's child, even if you have concerns. It's not your place as a friend. I understand your intent was not to offend or cause harm, but that doesn't change the fact that it has caused harm. I would say the same for your friend who's a dentist. It's not her place to give unsolicited feedback about your child's teeth, even if there is legitimate concerns and even if you would be grateful to hear it. It crosses an ethics boundary.
I disagree with an ethics boundary.
Unsolicited feedback? You disagree with the ethics boundary? I mean, you did yourself say you would wait for an in.
I don't think that feedback is a question of ethics or not. I think it's if you're somebody who has worked with these people, I think it is your personal ethics to speak up and say something. Ethics are circumstantial, they're situational, and they're also to your person. So I don't think ethics necessarily prevail here. Does that make sense? Like, you have people who are in a profession, for example, who are like ethically bound to report certain situations, but your best friend next door doesn't have to report that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that's all circumstantial. What's the general consensus here?
It's looking like not the asshole, but there have been a couple. Oh, I don't know. It's as I'm scrolling.
Stop scrolling.
You might be the asshole. Yes, you are the asshole. Are you a developmental pediatrician? Pretty sure it's not a speech pathologist's job to diagnose autism.
That was my initial response.
Asshole. Yes, you are the asshole. You should not offer unsolicited medical advice. Hi, I'm a therapist, and I see a lot of therapists, quote, diagnose unofficially people after seeing information but not doing formal assessments. I think saying you are the asshole is harsh, so I will not, because you are also a professional in the field and see a lot of things that can raise red flag. I want to say yes, you're the asshole. So not the asshole, not the asshole, not the asshole. Nah.
But all of these things have been circumstantial so far. I have to stick to my guns. I'm feeling like you're not the asshole. But also realize that there may be some drawbacks to your profession and your career and what you know and don't know.
Not the asshole, not the asshole. I don't know. It's...
How do you feel, Biff?
I think I'm with you only because it seems, according to the writer, that after they brought this up and the mom said, yes, we did the evaluation, they stopped.
Yeah. And that's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think I'm with you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Not your circus, not your monkey, ultimately. Which is sometimes the fucking worst in the world.
What you left, you wanted to do more, but you recognized...
Take all the babies and run away and save them all.
Yeah. Biff, one more.
Hey.
Uno más. Uno más.
This one was from 15 hours ago. Am I the asshole for calling my brother's baby's mother his baby mama?
Biff, am I the asshole for calling my sister's wife her wife?
Depends. Let's see. Throwaway, and I'm changing all names. I don't know what throwaway is.
A quote unquote irregardless. Like, hey, this is not
BT
a word,
Dubs,
but I'm throwing this in the trash.
All the names. BT Dubs, I'm changing all the names.
Sure.
I, 26-year-old male, have a brother, quote, Javi, 20 male.
I like that name.
Javi has never been, BN, in a serious relationship.
Javi's never been.
Is it Javi or Ben?
I've never been either. Or is his
real name Ben, and you just slipped? Javi has never been in a serious relationship, but he's had a lot of hookups, including with a girl from work, quote, Mandy, M-A-N-D-Y.
Shut up.
M-A-N-D-Y.
Shut up.
20.
We were just talking about your sister.
20-ish female. Well, it turns out that he got Mandy pregnant, and she's keeping it, and she's due in January. You should note that Mandy isn't Javi X. They were never together in the first place. It was purely sex.
Wait, Mandy's never Javi.
You should note that Mandy isn't Javi X. They were just fuck buddies. Mandy and Javi were never actually together. He just banged her. Maybe
so it should have said Javi's ex?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because Ben.
Go on.
They were never together in the first place. It was purely sex. Javi had told me that himself. Now, our dad died when I was 10 and Javi was 4, so he has a complex about being there for his new son or daughter. I think that great, and I've been trying to get him a job at the garage where I work because he makes just minimum wage currently. Javi intends to provide for his child as best he can, even though he's not together with Mandy. He will pay child support and be in the kid's life. Anyway, now that we have the background, here is the main conflict. We were over at my mom's place for Memorial Day. Our sisters, 22 female and 25 female, still live there too. We got to talking about the baby. Suddenly, my mom starts talking about inviting Mandy to the home selling party she's having next week. Our cousin is also named Mandy, so I asked my mom to clarify, baby mama Mandy or cousin Mandy? She immediately jumped down my throat and told me it was disrespecting to call Mandy Javi's baby mama, even though that's an accurate word for her. I told my mom Javi isn't and never was together with her. She's not his partner, his ex, or his anything else, so baby mama it is. My mom almost threw me out of the cookout, but my sister Grace, that's in quotes since the names are changed,
Gratchy,
22, jumped in and made her come to the kitchen. She did something to calm her down, and everything was normal, if a bit tense for the rest of the day. My siblings are divided. Me and Javi think baby mama is just accurate, while Grace isn't sure, and Alexia agrees with my mom. I should also note that my mom is Filipina.
Mm-hmm.
Is Filipina with an F?
Yes.
Oh, but the Philippines is with a PH?
No. Yeah.
It's PH.
I think you're right. Am I being ignorant? No, I think you're right.
Philippines is PH, but Filipina...
No, you're right. But yes, I've only seen it written with an F. Oh, really?
Filipina ever.
No,
That's
but I
why-
mean, like, I've only seen... Me saying I think you're right is agreeing with you, like, the Philippines PH, but I've only seen it referred to their people with an F. Filipino or Filipina.
I've never seen... Anyways, my mom is Filipina, and though she's been here for more than 30 years, sometimes English slang she doesn't get. Am I the asshole for calling my brother's child's mother his baby mama?
No.
No, not in this situation.
No. I was stoked for this. This isn't an introduction, it's just clarification. Like, who are you talking about, Mom? Which Mandy are you talking about?
Right.
No, you're not the asshole.
I really want to know what mom thinks.
I would love to know.
She should be, or maybe mom's traditional or old school, or
It's actually probably the
should-
case. I've known some Filipino moms and they are quite
mom, this ain't my
traditional
girl. I just
and
banged her
very-
a couple times
yeah.
and she's pregnant now.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's it. But like, you're not an asshole. I don't think for
saying
asking for clarification.
Cousin Mandy
because
or
that's-
baby mama Mandy.
They're not together. They've never been together. Maybe you could have said so-and-so's mom as opposed to, but like, there's nothing offensive about what you asked. This is our culture now, right?
Yeah, there's literally no other, unless you want to call her a fuck buddy.
Right. I could see it's offensive saying like baby mom if it's like wife, husband and wife, right?
Yeah, but what about girlfriend? Now do you swap from girlfriend or baby mom? Because baby mom is more than girlfriend,
Right.
but less than wife.
I feel like if someone called me a baby mom and I was with you,
So if you and Colin are together, you have a kid together.
uh-huh,
So you're officially Colin's baby daddy,
uh-huh,
but you're not married
uh-huh,
or engaged.
right.
Are you, this is my boyfriend Ray, or this is my baby dad, my child's father?
Whatever comes to his mind.
What are you introducing him as?
I'm introducing him as my boyfriend.
Even though you have a kid together,
Yeah.
you don't think baby dad is a step above boyfriend?
I don't think they trump each other. I just know me personally, like my vernacular does not include, unless I'm talking to my friends, baby dad. Maybe
True,
like,
but like
my son's
my
father.
son's father
But even
is the
still,
father
like,
of my son.
it just feels so informal to
But
me.
doesn't boyfriend feel like, oh, is this your baby dad or no? Right? If they know you have a kid and
No.
you're like, oh, this is my boyfriend Colin,
No.
I'm going to be confused. I'm
Well,
going to be like, wait, baby daddy?
It's kind of like
Colin
if that
or
first girl
boyfriend
who asked the
Colin?
question went and said, like, this is my girlfriend, Kiara, and you have all these kids, and these people assuming that, like, those 3 kids that your
So if I
fiance
hear a
has.
guy saying like, oh, this is my girlfriend Tiffany, I never ever jump to, she must be the one with his kids. That
Mhm.
must be his baby mom.
Mhm.
I never
But if
never
it's-
go there.
But if
I feel
he
like
says,
there's a
if this is
very-
my wife, Tiffany,
then yes, that is the mother of your children.
really?
Yes.
I don't
But
think
when I
that
hear
at all.
girlfriend, I never, ever, ever go to they must have a kid together or she must be baby mama, ever. Because I feel like it's girlfriend, baby mama, wife. Not in like a importance order at all. Just in a, if I'm saying she's my girlfriend, she is not a mother of my children. Wife is like all encompassing, right? Like you just assume naturally that you're baby mom also. But girlfriend for me never meant, I would never assume that that's also my baby mom.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Interesting. No, I see what you're saying. I guess just giving the connotations in the vernacular, and both of us have baby somethings.
Right.
This is Stephanie, my baby mom. If you and I had a child, that's all you are.
Right. Right.
And nothing to you. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I don't know, because if you say, oh, this is my girlfriend, Stephanie, I feel like I'm going to want to be like his fucking kid's mother. You know what I mean?
I also feel like if I'm introducing
But if you're like, oh, this is
my baby mom, I'd be
my...
like, and this is just assuming nothing else, right? Like, this is my wife, Stephanie, and our son.
But if I'm not your
wife, Artemis.
Great.
Yeah.
This is why we never have a kid together.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Artemis.
But if someone said that to you, this is my girlfriend Stephanie and our son, are you okay with that?
No, because you need to clarify that I'm our son's mom.
But if I said our son, have I not in fact clarified?
But what if our son isn't there for the introduction? What if it's just you and me? Then how do you introduce me?
How dare you assume that this isn't my child's mother? Fucking no.
See?
Yeah, but I think I can't put myself in that position, because to me, I am your partner, and so I am either mom or stepmom, dad or stepdad.
But that doesn't...
I'm still mom or
if you're just saying girlfriend or boyfriend, then that doesn't jump to stepmom. Your girlfriend. Did you just meet her? Has she been in your life for a long time? Does she know your kid? Has she met your kid? Is she your kid's mom? Like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'd get pissed if I had a child with a man that we were in a relationship and we were out somewhere and he introduced me as, this is my girlfriend, Stephanie. I feel like I would want to be like his fucking baby mom. But also, if we were out, he introduced me as, this is my child's mother. I'm going to be like, and your girlfriend. Swear together. I can be your baby mom without being in a relationship with you.
Let me confuse you even more.
But I can be your girlfriend without being your baby mom.
Let me confuse you more. You've been together for 20 years, no kids. This is my girlfriend, Stephanie.
20 years, no kids?
Yep, you're not married, no kids. This is my girlfriend, Stephanie.
After 20 years,
you're each other's
there's no
emergency
ring
contacts.
And there's no child.
No.
We're not in a relationship.
Let's take that out. Let's take that out.
We're not in a relationship.
Let's take that out. A guy 20 years later tells you, well, there's my answer, by the way, because I know you. But a guy 20 years together, you're not married, you're okay where you're at, says this is my
Actually, that was
Stephanie.
my uncle and my aunt.
That was my dad and my mother.
For how long? How many years?
It wasn't even 20 years. It wasn't even 10.
Yeah, see, my uncle, I want to say it was probably 20 years. She was
probably
like
5 or 6 years.
The only aunt I knew.
Yeah.
But they never, ever, ever got married.
Really?
Even though it was probably 20 years and no kids together.
Wow.
And I think he just called her Patty. I think, you know what I mean? I don't think there was girlfriend, wife, fiance. I think it was just like, oh, this
would
is
it be
Patty.
better for you if it was like, hi, this is Stephanie?
I think if you're like holding my arm or holding my hand or have your arm around me and say, this is Stephanie.
Okay.
Then it probably wouldn't be like,
okay, so when I go to a party with you and I put my arm around you and I say, this is Stephanie.
You'll say, this is Biff.
Nope. If I say, this is Stephanie.
And I'm going to say, AKA Biff.
First of all, no one
doesn't know that already.
That's true. But let's just say, like, how would you feel if I was like, this is Stephanie?
I don't know.
Would you expect them to think that we were together because I have my arm around you?
Yes, if your arm is around me and you say, this is Stephanie, then yes, I'm going to hope that the assumption is, oh, this must be his girlfriend.
Oh.
But that's what my issue is, that for me, it's girlfriend, baby mom, wife.
But I have a son. If I show up with Wyatt, this is Stephanie, I have my arm around you.
If I'm not your baby mom, then I don't give a fuck.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, good.
The issue is baby mama. And that's why I'm torn, because if you introduce me as, oh, this is my girlfriend, Stephanie, I'm going to be like, also his child's mother. But if you introduce me as like, oh, this is my child's mother, Stephanie, I'm going to be like, and girlfriend, like we're together. I'm not just your baby mom.
Right. I feel like we can go on this forever.
Forever. Because I don't know how you address me. Might as well just fucking marry me before we have to go to any sort of outing. We need to be engaged. Because if I'm fiance or wife, I'm good.
Fion wife.
Wifey.
Girl fion wife.
Like, if you call me your girlfriend or your baby mom, we're fighting.
But if you're asking for clarification from your mom between your cousin and your brother's baby mom,
I don't know.
Would you expect your mom to be offended? That is the real question.
My mom's going to be offended because sex before marriage is a crime. Or sin, rather.
Okay.
Not a crime.
I asked the wrong person
You did.
the wrong question.
You did. Let's see what
I think not the asshole. That is my response.
you think, not the asshole.
I don't think he's the asshole.
Well, this writer says you are the asshole.
Why?
For clarity/nuance, I don't think you were the asshole for the initial comment, but the moment it didn't land well, you were the asshole for arguing back and not immediately changing how you addressed her. Any future usage of baby mama for Mandy, yes, you're the asshole.
I can see that. Kind of respecting your mom's point of view, her perspective.
I hate the terms baby mama and baby daddy. They sound so negative and derogatory.
Yes.
She's the mother of his child. You are the asshole. You are the asshole. You could have just said, which Mandy are you talking about? You wanted to say something shady about Mandy. You seem to be on a high horse about her while giving your brother credit for doing the bare minimum.
Okay.
This
makes me feel like I contradicted myself.
Baby mama carries a derogatory implication about Mandy. But
yeah, because I said that.
Yes, but no,
I also,
because baby mama is...
But it's
she's
also...
just your baby mama.
She's just your baby mama.
You're not together. You're not in a relationship. You're not married. You're not...
To me, it is what it is.
Baby mother.
It is what it is, but it also
like,
has
no, that's
negative
not my man,
connotation.
But that's my daughter's father.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree both sides of what you're saying. We are aligned. So you are just asshole. You can add whatever prefix you'd like to it. Not the, or you are the.
Not the asshole. I mean, if the shoe fits, ... I hate the phrase along with baby daddy. It's either the mother or father of the child. In my opinion, it's disrespectful. It seems like a kind of 50-50.
Yeah. I get it. It does.
I think
it is what it is, and there's a negative connotation.
Actual
so
phrase baby mother versus mother of the baby.
No, baby mother might fly. It's baby mama that doesn't. Baby dad don't fly.
Actually, that's very true, because I feel like I have done both. This is my daughter's father versus this is my baby daddy. Intentionally.
And only two of us know which one is true.
Exactly. I've intentionally used those specific phrases.
Yeah. It's the connotation.
Like, fuck my baby daddy.
But
versus like, shut the fuck up. This is my daughter's father. You know what I mean? One, I am holding respect for you.
Versus,
this is my daughter's father.
You're right.
Versus, I don't give a fuck about my baby daddy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, it kind of is. But that's not you saying, oh, that's her daughter's father, or that's her baby daddy.
It's not an introduction, right? It's
this is the brother saying, oh, baby mama Mandy or cousin Mandy.
Like, he wasn't addressing her. He wasn't just...
I think if this boy and Mandy were in a relationship and the brother said, baby mama Mandy, then I could see mom and sister being like, bro, fuck you. Like, they're together. That's disrespectful. That's the mother of the child versus like, there's no relationship. They hooked up a couple times. She's pregnant. That's baby mama.
I think that the one that you read where it was like, you're not for saying that initially, but you are for arguing it. I think I'm more inclined to agree with that just because I think it's more cultural. Your initial thing was like, no, like you weren't intending to. And this
but
is
then
what
you
know,
pushed it and carried it out.
and you fought it.
Yeah.
Like you
And
don't
so
get to
now
choose
you are the
who's
asshole,
offended by what.
Right.
Right. And I think that's where I'm agreeing with it. I don't think you're the asshole for asking the question. Sure. But I think you might be the asshole for like trying to convince your mom that you were all right. Because
also, that's your mom.
Yeah. Mother knows best
Respect
even
her.
when she doesn't.
Sorry, mom.
Sorry, mom. Do you mean Hobby's
The
son's mother, daughter's
Javi's
mother?
child's mother.
Or how about mom, which Mandy?
Yes, that was what was one of the writers said.
Just which Mandy are you talking about? Specifically, mother.
Which
Mandy last name or Mandy other last name?
But let's be real. We're all saying baby mama. They're not together. They're not in a relationship. I understand the derogatory versus my child's father versus my baby
formal.
daddy.
Right.
Okay, but like they're not together. They know that they're not together. Everyone knows they're not in a relationship. Baby mama, like, okay, if you're out in public and there's strangers around, there's people around, she's there, then sure.
Right.
I say not the asshole.
It's a convoluted disaster altogether.
Such is life.
Such is life. And that's it for us this week.
That is it with the Aunty AITAs.
I loved those questions.
And the Uncle AITAs.
They're a good discussion.
And the baby
without
mama
getting
AITAs. And the baby daddy AITAs.
Yeah. Baby daddy AITAs. And the stepmom AITAs who won't watch your kids.
And not stepmom AITAs, because I'm just your girlfriend. I ain't your baby mama. I'm your girlfriend.
Oh my God. That's a whole other one. You guys, send us your questions, your comments, all your concerns, and your beverage recommendations to illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com. You can catch up on all of our episodes and check out our sources in our show notes at illadvisedthepodcast.com.
Or on all social medias. Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at illadvisedthepodcast.
You're beautiful, you're wonderful. Everything about you is sexy.
You are the baby mama.
They ain't your kids. And thank you for listening.
You've been ill-advised.